Hello everybody, welcome back to Legend of Mana. I've been delaying things quite a bit for a while, but I think it's finally time for the game to pick back up. But first, I have to pick someone up. Yep, it's time to continue the Dragonslayer quest. Let's go, Wolfie. So to continue the dragon slaying quest, we need to use the Skull Lantern, which is what we picked up from Draconis. Now keep in mind, for all three of the main quest lines, you typically get relics that relate to it. So if you know what to do, you can kinda prepare ahead of time. But for now... yeah, I figure it's nice to have mountains next to the ocean city and cliffside lake. It makes perfect sense. I always like this opening scene, this is cool. It seems like Larc has a friend. Yeah, Larc, I gotta say, Draconis seems kinda fucking evil. But that's just me. I mean, I know I'm contracted through death, but I gotta voice my concerns. Also, those with a keen eye might have noticed, we have a slight change. And no, it's not Larc with his equipment. Bitey is back at home chillin'. I'm bringing Excalibur into the game. Now, Rabbites are cool and all, but I myself, I'm a personal fan of the Poltergeist sword. For reasons that will be seen across the next, say, 5 or more episodes? But for now, we're climbing a mountain, we got dragons to slay. And I'm gonna say this right now, while Rabbite is cool, Bitey's a really cool character, the sword, the Poltergeist sword, is so much more aggressive, and you'll begin noticing that. Also, I'm gonna say right now, just as a bit of a spoiler, this will probably be the last episode I use the nunchucks. And I gotta say, I've actually taken the nunchucks for granted. Using them for 25 episodes, I never realized how good they are. They have wider range than I remember, and they stun quite frequently. But enough about gameplay mechanics, we're in a new village. Oh. Hey, what's up? Hey. What? Hey, that's rude. These are some very rude individuals we're talking to. Who are these clowns? Yeah, our first target is Aggravator. Aggravator? I'm pretty sure it's Aggravator, and I've never actually tried to, say his name. Sorry, bird dudes, you can't kill what's already dead. So those three dudes that just flew off into the nothingness, remember them. They are important. For now, though, enjoy cabbage beating us up. Turnips, whatever. But yeah, this mountain has a bit of a gimmick that will be explained when we get to them. So, it's not a bad gimmick. In fact, it's, for the most part, this dungeon is relatively linear, so there's not much to worry about. Not a lot in terms of enemy variety, though. But at least for the most part, we will be seeing the last of these silly-ass skills. Now, we haven't seen much of the Poltergeist Sword, mainly because we haven't seen any areas with the Poltergeist Sword. But this dude is awesome. Just because he's a sword doesn't mean he's, you know, a one-trick pony. He has a lot of neat attacks. He can turn into a spear and stab someone, he can become a club and punch someone, he even blocks by turning into a shield. Poltergeist Sword just exudes style. He's also noticed I've also noticed that Poltergeist Sword is notably aggressive. I don't know if it's because of his diet or his AI, but out of all the pets I've ever used, he is by far away the most helpful in terms of damage output. Also, we had no reason to be here. There's just stuff here. Whoops. That's why I say linear for the most part. Man, we're already in a boss fight. This is a quick quest. Also, damn, Larc is just straight to the point. So these are Aggravators Elite. They are the Wind Callers. And if it wasn't obvious enough, they really fucking like magic. Because they like magic, they will have a considerable amount of invincibility frames. But that will be explained in later episodes when I start using magic myself. They're not beyond a good beating though, so if you just kinda, you know, punch them mid-cast, they ain't got shit. Oh yes, here's one of Larc's greatest moves. And one that he will miss all the time because the AI is programmed to do that at point blank range. I'm a little sad I missed this technique, because Demon's Howl is such a good technique. And it just makes me look embarrassing on film. Wow, language. Watch your mouth, this is a kid's game. So, yeah, that's the gimmick. There were 3 wind callers that flew to the mountain, and each of them is part of a barrier. We have to kill all of them. It means all 3 fights. Gotta, you know, unwind after missing that technique from the boss fight. I don't know why, but I always like... I love that weird special effect where you see, like, Japanese kanji just displayed behind you after a technique. It's the silliest thing, yet I love it so much. I believe fists have that same kind of style to their moves, but I'm not 100% sure. My memory's kind of fuzzy. Well, that was fast. So, with 3 of them, they are basically the exact same fight, so Depending on how you handle the first one, it could be either really easy or really hard. I have 25 quests of experience under my belt, so this dude's a chump. Also, I'm not gonna miss this technique again. It's pretty strong. Also, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the little downward slash that the Poltergeist sword can do defense down. But it happens ever so rarely because, well, Poltergeist sword ironically doesn't like to be a sword. Most of the times whenever I see him attack, he's either a club or a spear, which kind of confuses me. It seems like Poltergeist sort of has an identity crisis. Oh yeah, he's done. I forgot about the boss. Now this area is optional. It's also, I believe, a farm spot for pets and I want to say mana coins, but I'll show that off another time. But here we fight a new enemy. It's a condor. They have a lot of HP now because this is pretty late in the game. But one ST and it's, you know, fucking done. Now, the big thing about the Dragonslayer quest is that they are mostly combat. I can see this being probably the most memorable part of the game because you're not getting all the talking done, you are just getting thrown into action. But in terms of doing, like, you know, a playthrough, they are probably one of the least interesting quests, mainly because nothing goes on in between the plot dumps. Not bad though. It's a great, like, you know, quest to just introduce someone to the game. It's very simple. It's very simple, very cathartic, and something people will always appreciate. You are a man killing dragons. Well, in this case I'm a woman, but... I also think it's probably one of the more exciting quests, because even though it doesn't seem like much just in terms of writing, it's very exciting. It's something everybody wants to do. Be the heroes, save the dragon, even though, as we've been establishing so far, we don't exactly feel like a hero. In fact, people seem to hate Draconis. Kind of a weird thing to establish. Maybe the dude we're fighting for is actually evil Jafar. Or, wait, that's a paradox. Maybe the dude we're working for is is similar to Jafar in that he's just evil and trying to use us for his own ends. Also, the Yetis here are pretty strong. They just punch the hell out of my sword. And he levels up while dead. So by this entire quest and having the EXP share ring, my little pet is already level 6. Kinda crazy. Oh, here's the last one. He has nothing new. But I'm pretty sure Larc just threw him out of my skill range. Dick. This is teamwork, Larc. You can't just throw dudes out of my attack when I'm gonna tear off most of their HP. I think at this point I'm just trying to hasten up further, because if you remember, Challenger gives you a power-up. Boy howdy, is it a power-up. Yeah, that was quick. Also, if you didn't notice it from the past 18 battles, the Poltergeist Sword's victory pose is him polishing his own sword. Like, I don't care what I've said, I've said a lot of cool things about this pet, but goddamn, his victory pose is the coolest thing ever. At the end of a fight, he has to polish his own head. Excalibur, you're the best. I'm pretty sure if you haven't killed all the wind collars, they would just this statue would just yell at you and you would have to kill them. I could see people getting hung up on that, but this is a relatively straight path. You'd have to actively try to not find all the wind collars. Man. I think this is probably one of the hardest fights just because the Yeti is such a heavy hitter and yet both the eyeball and the turnip can confuse you. So I'm just sitting there like, ugh, what the hell's going on? I mean, look at this. I'm stunned and confused again. This is pretty much the final stretch of the level. They throw a couple small mobs your way after that really troublesome one. But for the most part, it shouldn't be too hard. They're giving you time to recover your... I think they're giving you time to fill up your meter before you fight the boss. Also, fun little cutscene. Whelps. Damn, Larc. Couldn't do that with the wind collars? Now this was a weird little opportunity, but I guess I'll show you how to get magic. Now the typical idea for we've shown this off before, but typically you want to get a lot of instruments, find the right beat, and just pray. Because for the most part, this is entirely random. You would think elementals would have a preferred, type of music, but I found that instruments doesn't matter and their taste is entirely random, so if you want to go magic farming, I would suggest buying a couple cheapo instruments and just take a day off and get as many elementals as you can. Once you find the tune that they like, it's really easy picking, and you'll even get a gold like I did. Gold coins are nice. I'll show that off next episode. You could even see how excited I was. I just kind of span in place like, ah, I can make good magic, yes! Yetis. Man, between Larc and my high damage nunchucks, these guys ain't got shit. Hey, it's the Condor. I began noticing something in that For the most part, nunchucks do steady damage. Like, nobody has high defense against them, yet it doesn't have anything that it's strong against. Next episode, you're gonna see something weird with damage output from what I use next. Boss fight. Aggravator. He is an actual fucking dragon. So Aggravator's pretty much a badass. However, I've played this game a lot. I'm gonna warn you right now, I make him look like an absolute joke. So enjoy sprite tweeting. Aggravator is interesting. He has all the typical attacks you would think a dragon would have. He has a tail swipe, a bite, a wing swipe like that. And he also has, since he's a wind dragon, he doesn't have fire breath, but he does have a spell where he casts, like, random explosions in the area. The problem is I don't give him the time of day. Also, if you noticed, I didn't do any damage to him. At any point, Aggravator could just choose not to take damage, and it happens a lot here. Like, I think I do so much damage, I just trigger his defense. But if you catch him in an ST when he has that defense up, you can't hurt him. I feel like I have a lot more to say, but he's almost already dead. Shit. Well, there he goes. If you fought him earlier on, like right when you got the Skull Lantern, he's much more of a fight. But I'm kind of overpowered at this point. I wonder if he's actually in the underworld like all the other NPCs. So this is what we've been after, huh? Now, as I mentioned before, any artifacts that you get during one of these three main plots relate to the plot. I basically just got the artifact for the next level. Wow, one of you is still alive? Man, for Dragoons of a Wind Dragon, these guys look silly. Hey, little cactus. I think I did a bad thing today. See you folks next time. That's right, folks. It's wizard time.